So my name's Sydney Russell and I'm doing a presentation on the chemistry of skincare. So I have my presentation right here. Here are some very common ingredients in skincare products and what they mean, what they do for your skin. So the first thing that I have is adapalene. Here is just like a little tube of adapalene that I have. Adapalene is a retinoid. You can either get it in a gel form or a cream form. It just depends on where you get it from. If you get it from your dermatologist, it's probably going to be a cream. If you get it from just over the counter, it's probably going to be a gel. And it's used to stop pimples from coming up to the surface of your skin instead of attacking ones that are already, very apparent. The next thing is niacinamide. Here is it is a gel and it has just a little bit of niacinamide. It's 4% niacinamide. And niacinamide is meant to improve the overall appearance of your skin, and it works on reducing the appearance of your pores, because you can't really decrease the size of your pores, just how apparent they are. If you have buildup, this helps get rid of that. And glycerin doesn't really do much for your skin. It's not a chemical like niacinamide or, something like that where it actually does things for your skin. It's just a very common ingredient in a lot of moisturizers like this one, so I thought I'd include it. The next thing is salicylic acid and glycolic acid. So salicylic acid is a BHA, which is a beta hydroxy acid. Here is just a little salicylic acid cleanser that I use. And glycolic acid is an AHA, which means alpha hydroxy acid. And here's some glycolic acid. They're somewhat similar in that they're both chemical exfoliants, but the next slide is more about how, what their differences are, what's the main differences between AHAs versus BHAs. So AHAs, they're more for the surface of your skin, they exfoliate. They're chemical exfoliants, so they're not like, some physical exfoliants where they're like little beads, but it's a chemical exfoliant. It's meant for, more the surface of your skin, surface level things. It does make your skin more vulnerable to sunburns if you're not using a sunscreen with it, because the acid is slightly irritating if you have sensitive skin, but for most people it's just, you should use sunscreen with it just to be safe. It's meant to reduce inflammation, if you have a breakout or something like that, or if you have hyperpigmentation from, maybe old pimple scars. That's what that's meant for. And then BHAs get more into, underneath the surface level of your skin. They work to prevent acne, and they're not as likely as like this to really mess with your skin, lead to more sunburns. They don't really do that as much as an AHA would. These are some ingredients that I think that you should avoid, especially if you have sensitive skin. So there's a lot of ingredients. They're usually fragrances, and they react really negatively to a lot of people's skin, like I said, especially if you have already sensitive skin, or if you have maybe like eczema. They're usually fragrances, but a lot of parabens. They're used as preservatives. They mess with, like your hormones, and they can just really mess with your skin, if you're not careful. So parabens, plant extracts, fruit extracts, perfumes, fragrances, dyes, essential oils, those are things that are just not necessary for your skin and a lot of times can mess with you. I don't have this St. Ives scrub, but I have used it before when I didn't know that it was bad for your skin, and it is bad for your skin. But I do have this in the second picture that I used to use a lot, and it's stuff like this where it's just extracts and fragrances, different, like rose fragrance, perfumes. It's just not necessary and really irritating to your skin. So here, pH levels in products, because those really matter. I'm just going to do a little bit of what pH means. So pH is a measurement for how acidic or alkaline or basic a substance is. pH lower than 7 is acidic, higher is basic. So products like AHAs, they're meant to exfoliate the surface of your skin. They're acidic and they have a lower pH, lower than 7. So here is what's on the screen right now. It's this glycolic acid, 7%. I don't know if you can really see it that well, but it does have a pH of 3.6, so that is slightly more acidic than your skin. Your skin's pH is around 5.5, but anything around 4 or maybe a little bit less than 4 is safe for your skin. And like this is the stuff where it even has a warning on the back about sunburns if you're not using sunscreen. But around 4, maybe a little bit less, it's perfectly fine for your skin. But if it's too low, then it could cause serious burns to your skin. So that's why usually the range, you won't see anything less than about 3.5. So here, how do ingredients react with each other, what you should mix. So here's again what you should be mixing together. If you're using anything that has alpha hydroxy acid or like even beta hydroxy acid, sometimes those could potentially lead you to be more likely to have a sunburn. So if you're using something like this where it has salicylic acid, glycolic acid, or even this really, if you're using this, you should be wearing sunscreen at all times, but especially if you're using products that could lead you to be more likely to get sunburns, you should use a sunscreen. This is the one that I use. It's just 30 SPF. That's enough, just every day. That's enough to keep your face from getting sunburned. But this is something that you should be mixing together just for the overall health of your skin. And then things that shouldn't mix, mainly retinol. It's a very serious chemical. It's a derivative of vitamin A, and really anything that's a derivative of vitamin A, it's very likely that it could irritate your skin unless it's a product that already has a combination. If it's a combination of retinol and like a glycolic acid or lactic acid maybe, that's probably perfectly fine, but you really shouldn't be mixing them if you can avoid it. Topical vitamin A, benzoyl peroxide, AHA, those are things that they really shouldn't be mixed together. Retinol is a very common derivative of vitamin A. Combining it with too many other active ingredients, it'll irritate your skin. It is a very powerful chemical. It is effective, but if you have sensitive skin, it's maybe not the best option for you. It reduces the appearance of fine lines and hyperpigmentation from sun damage. And then AHAs, that's a very common product, and it exfoliates your skin, so mixing them together could just really cause a lot of irritant. So that's it. This is my citation page. So thank you.